What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Sure to like and sub. Let's get into this. First and foremost, thank you for the 7,000 subs. Just hit that last night. So first video since that. So thank you. Going forward, something I'm not going to be thanking is anyone over from Ubisoft, because yes, they are furthering down the pathway of just alienating the players and the ruination of the Assassin's Creed franchise. No, not just because of Yasuke, because a lot of different things, but their responses are pretty telling. Either way, because the word of mouth is so abysmal for Ubisoft, we've seen their stock prices drop dramatically. And it's just a downward trend. They need a miracle, and Assassin's Creed Shadows ain't no miracle, and they know it. They know it, and we know it. And so now they've done what they've done before, or what others have done before, and they being they, and they've gone to the New York Times to run attack campaigns against us. In this case, the first of many articles, I'm sure. Not the first time they've, of course, done this. You can see is a callback to the playbook from Amazon Prime's Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. Ubisoft has leveraged Zachary Small and the New York Times, as well as so-called experts, to attack players ahead of the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Yeah, and a lot of those experts, they've already been debunked and called out. Before we get to that, you can see that we did in 2022 is when Rings of Power did their version of this, worked with Vanity Fair instead of the New York Times, and released a whole puff piece thing about that, basically ignoring, because this is what they've done with Assassin's Creed Shadows. The main complaint is that they're touting something that was once historical fiction, and they're saying, no, this is 100% an actual factual truth. Yasuke was not only did he exist, but he was a samurai with a capital S. That's pissing off a lot of people in Japan. We've seen that petition, which we'll see in a minute, amongst a bevy of other things, and then all the problems with Ubisoft in general. Much like with Rings of Power, when people were complaining that it was breaking Tolkien's lore and it was going against this and that, they just went, oh, you just don't like it because there's black people in it. And that's basically what they tried to do for Rings of Power through Variety that first time, and what they're oddly enough doing sort of again. And it's what they're trying to do now with New York Times. So here we go. Small wrote, this is regarding Assassin's Creed Shadows and the backlash. I was going to go to the article, but you have to subscribe and sign in to New York Times. And no. Fake news. Some gamers erupted over his appearance, convinced that talking about Yasuke, convinced that the franchise, known for its immersive recreations of the past, had gone woke by including a black character in its depiction of 16th century Japan. Not what we were saying, but that's fine. He then claims that developers received personal attacks and death threats during an online harassment campaign. Again, showing no evidence, as they do. This happens with even though Kelly Marie Tran has come out and said that the reason she left social media was because of the news media, not because of the fans. But they go, oh, we've been attacked. This is Amanda Stenbergs and Moses Ingrams. We've been attacked. And then you go and you say, do you have any evidence? Can you produce any proof whatsoever? Most of the time, no. And at best, they produce something that is basically along the lines of, yeah, you're a diversity hire. You just got hired because of your skin color. Nice thing to say? I don't know, but pretty factual in a lot of cases, unfortunately for everyone, including the actors, who it just does a disservice to. So yeah, no proof on their claims that we were attacking them. After attacking Gamer Smalls, then weaves a false narrative that has already been refuted for months. Yeah, he cited Yu Hirayama, a known communist, and it's in his personal agenda to read disingenuously, which it turns out a lot of this is reading disingenuously into the translations, of which there's many a journal, and only one even gives you slightly a pathway to say that yes, Yasuke was anything more than an oddity to Oda Nobunaga. So literally a sideshow that because of his skin color and how big and strong he was, and because he could speak a little bit of Japanese. That does not mean he was a full land sword house owning, wife wielding, literally samurai with a capital S. Because we've also found out, yes, samurai are not just a people, a profession. There's a whole caste system. There's many of them, and you can be a samurai while not being a samurai. It does get complicated, but that's why it's been so easy for them to obfuscate the truth and sort of paint us all as just racist for saying all of this. However, it is slightly disputed that he was that was just the most kind one where he pointed out that there's several different volumes, and only in the 15th volume do they make even a mention of said class. But it's fine. Again, what Assassin's Creed always used to do, like when Napoleon is in Unity, they didn't magically make Napoleon an assassin, and they didn't, change a bunch of the things he did. All they did was reframe the reasons for the things you did see him do in history, i.e., trying to get pieces of Eden or something like that away from the Templars or to the Templars. And of course, not only does he cite the communist Hirayama, but just like with the Vanity Fair, they all cited Kasuma Hashimoto, which was that, that's one of those, boy, they love finding excuses to modern up the past. That's one of those things. It was people in the West who were upset with seeing Yasuke as a samurai. No, it was people in the East, and we're going to end with that because this petition, which it's topped out at basically 105,000, which, by the way, I would just note is about 22,000 more than the Save the Acolyte. But yeah, this is mostly Japanese people. Most of my comments were filled with Japanese people, just really pissed off that their concerns about ill appropriation of the misrepresentation of their country and architecture and all the bevy of things we've listed, they're just getting dismissed as racists, and they don't like that. So yeah, the largest voices are actually coming from Japan, because it turns out when Assassin's Creed Shadows said they were going to set it in feudal Japan, they thought they'd be playing as a Japanese character, not an African one. And again, if this also had been, I'm going to keep saying like Jeremy from 199, and again, if this had been 10, 15 years ago, very little upcry about this. People just been like, oh, cool, Afro Samurai. But pattern recognition and bad faith, you've ruined all of us. You've literally weaponized something that diversity, equity, inclusion, something that sort of actually used to be there. There was meritocracy, which is what fucked up the equity part, but there was definitely diversity and inclusion, and they don't like meritocracy. That's why they want to get rid of that. But we would have accepted it. We would have accepted it. We would assume, oh, probably going to be a really good story, but we don't accept it now. We have no good faith for you. I have no good faith for you, basically. You gotta drag me kicking and screaming to prove that you've done something of quality, and then I'll be one of your biggest defenders. But yeah, let me know what you think of all this. Let me know what you think of the tactic of just running to the legacy media to paint us as what they always do. Does it even matter anymore? Oh, racist, sexist, homophobic bigots. Dan Vass, we're working on the song. Not really, but one day. Let me know what you think. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. Thank you for 7,000.
Well, bye.